Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of the E-commerce Connection, where we connect you with the people you need to know to succeed in business. Today, I am very excited to welcome one of Empowery's newest strategic partners, Hugh Taylor, CEO of Comms Factory. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. So Comms Factory, which is short for Communications Factory.
Nice.
We've been around for 7 years. We had some different names in earlier incarnations of ourselves, but we are a public relations firm that specializes in serving small businesses and entrepreneurs. And we have worked over the years with companies that were associated with Empowery before it was called Empowery. So we've worked with various Amazon sellers referred by Steve Simonson over the years. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself and how I got to be doing this and what we do. So I come from a corporate communications and public relations background. I've run marketing and marketing communications at Silicon Valley venture-backed startups, where my portfolio included public relations. And then I went to Microsoft, where I became a public relations manager for a $2 billion product in the Microsoft portfolio called SharePoint. And as the PR manager for SharePoint Technologies, I had a $1 million budget, and I had a full-time agency team from one of the top PR firms in the world dedicated to my account all the time. And that was an amazing experience. I got to do, that was like doing public relations like the Rolls-Royce way, but it was a lot of work. We got 1,000 articles a year published about SharePoint Server in various, media around the world. After that, I began to work on taking that like professional public relations experience, a service, and putting it into like a bite-sized gig. Because obviously not everybody has $1 million budget, or, until pretty recently, until maybe the last 5 or 10 years, almost all public relations was done on a retainer basis. If you wanted a PR firm, you had to retain a PR firm for anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And those firms are great. I'm not against that. I'm just saying it's not for everybody. Most smaller companies start
smaller.
Right. And the alternative has been to hire publicists by the hour, which is also a great model. But again, if you're paying someone, $100 an hour and the meter's running, things can get expensive. So the idea was to just distill the public relations process into a manageable service with a fixed fee. And I originally started this on the Fiverr platform, which 7 years ago, you had to actually charge $5. So that was, I don't know if you remember that was the rule.
No, I didn't know that was actually.
That's why it's called Fiverr. It was kind of a gimmick. Anything you want for your logo, copy, a press release. So I said, okay, I'm going to charge $5 to write a 150-word press release. And at first I was like, am I out of my mind? Like, I used to write speeches for Bill Gates. Like, I'm going to charge $5 for a press release. But I remember talking about this with Steve Simonson. I just had a certain amount of curiosity about whether this whole gig economy was going to work. Mm-hmm. And so we started doing that, and it's gone from there. And so you can charge more than $5 now. And then I created a sort of a freestanding business version of the same thing I had on Fiverr. But it's gone well. And in the last 7 years, I've done over 3,500 press releases for clients in 66 different countries. And it's no longer just me. I have worked with a team of freelance writers. They're former newspaper reporters. They're very adept at writing press releases. But the idea is that for what I would consider a reasonable fee, we'll write a press release about your company or your product. And we work with all kinds of different people